And so you gave them 7 days to raise. How did they go about raising the money? Because they don't have they're not professional fundraisers.
No,
they don't have experience in this.
They're not. Yeah. And we just teach them grassroots fundraising. You know, how to have a vision or a goal. We're going to raise $130,000. We're going to be responsible for giving a family a house at Christmas. And it's really in that vision, like, we met the family, we get to know them, we know they've worked on the project as well. So it's being connected to making that difference, to the actual end result, and then we go out and we raise the funds. So we do that in many ways. We all make a list of people we know and who would like to donate to a holiday home for Habitat, for a Habitat family. And we go out and talk to our family and friends, and this is really the identification of what we call the giver game at Choice Center, which is our nonprofit division. And that's that we believe it doesn't take a lot of time and it doesn't take a lot of money to make a big difference when you bring a group of people together and teach them how.
Right, because I think most people, feel like, well, what can I do? I can't make a difference. I don't have the skills. I don't have the money. I don't have the, the ability to really make a difference. But when you get together and create the mission and give people some of the tools,
absolutely.
I think everybody ends up being surprised on what they can accomplish. And that then, yes, I guess, inspires them in their personal life and in their personal goals.
Well, that's exactly right. That's how we connect it. So if I can wake up and in 7 days with a team of 40 people that I'm on a path with for personal excellence, personal responsibility, reaching my goals both individually and as a team, now I can apply what I've learned. It's hitting that gas pedal to my weight elimination goal, to my relationship goal, to my business goals, because everything that it takes us to be and then to take actions out of who we're being, it applies. I always like to say, where I am anywhere, I am everywhere. So it splashes on everything.
Can people really change? Do people change?
Yes, people change. The basics are there. So we've had experiences in our life up until this moment that produce triggers that we relate to things. But when I can see what is working and what isn't working, I can practice. It's practicing good habits. And it takes about 75 to 90 days to change a habit, whether I'm headed in the direction of what will work or what won't work. It takes practice is all it is. It's discipline.
It's more of changing the behavior, though, isn't it? Because let's say you have a propensity to eat.
Yes.
You don't. When you change and you lose weight and you become thin, you still want to,
of course,
eat junk.
Absolutely.
Right. So that never changes. That temptation, that desire, that drive. But what does change is how you react to it, your behavior.
Yeah, it's about responding. So being responsible. And again, I'm going to go back to the basics of, if I have a vision to be healthy and fit, so I'm the best partner I can be in my marriage, I'm the best partner I can be in a business, in my family, then I'm going to keep going back to why I'm going towards that goal. And yes, it's difficult. If you're like me, once I tell myself, okay, I'm going on a program, I probably want the hot fudge sundae more that day once I tell myself I'm not going to eat like that. But it's overriding it with the end result being more important than the current circumstance.
Oftentimes, particularly in drug and alcohol programs, people get sober, they go through a program, then they relapse. What causes that, and why is that always such an issue with people?
I'm not an expert in rehab at all, Ed. What I know in general about people, and addiction is an entirely different story that we at Choice Center we're not equipped to handle, but we refer people to professional
but you
places.
Have people who have had those problems.
Yes,
right?
We do.
That do come
yes,
to
we do.
Choice.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think what's important to remember is no matter what challenges and circumstances we attract and create in our life, it's all about being committed to a result, to a vision, to an end outcome. And I think people with addiction, and a lot of experts say all of us have some level of addiction to something. I love sugar. I love dessert. So I think that could be classified as an addiction. But if I want that health and fitness or maybe I'm diabetes bound, you know, maybe it's not so much about what I look like, but it's actual health issues, then I've got to put mechanisms in place to support me. It's really about being connected to myself, being connected to what that end result is going to bring me in my life, connected to what difference I make. I mean, certainly we've all had people in our lives that have challenges like addiction, and it breaks the entire family's heart. It breaks all the friends' heart, right? So being aware of how my behavior affects everybody, not just me.
What is the process that you use to effectuate some of these changes? You know, because I've observed in your program, you have people who seem to go to the university because they want to improve something in their life. And look, in this time period that we're going through, you know, with the economic issues, with the unemployment, with just the you know, the world events that are going on, you know, it's sad, and so you have more people who are just, you know, victim to the media, to unemployment, to all these other issues. So a lot of people are in our community, and they're not happy. They don't know where they're going. They're a little bit lost. A lot of us seem to bring baggage with them, you know, because I've sat in on some of these meetings, and people have, you know, family problems and abuse problems in their background. So, I mean, when you have those kind of issues, how do you overcome them, and how do you overcome this, you know, the environment in which we live, and the complicated world we live today? I mean, it's difficult to adapt to it. It seems that life was simpler, you know, 30 years ago. How do you know, put all that away and then just be able to focus on, I guess, the present?
Well, I think the simple answer I can give you right to begin with is to make a choice, is to choose that regardless of the external circumstances that we're living in, and you're right, here in Las Vegas, we were the #1 city hit. I don't know where we land right at this moment with house foreclosures in the real estate market. So it's real. I mean, what people are saying is real for them, but we make a choice. And the truth is we attract and create our current results. So why are some people out there thriving in a market like this? Because they made a choice and they got on a path to make it different. So it's really about, you know, again, renewal and reinvention, redesign, like really taking a look at where I've been. Am I still passionate about what I was doing when this crash hit? Maybe it's time for change. Maybe it's time to reevaluate. Real estate's a hot topic here. So I've been a real estate agent for a long time, and I made a great living, and I secured a lot. Maybe I've lost a lot. Maybe being in real estate in a different fashion would be a great choice. You have to go back to the basics of what am I passionate about? What do I want to get to? We have to have a purpose. You know, I don't know who said it, but I've read it many times. People without purpose perish. And for me, that means from the inside out, like where it's I'm in stress, I'm upset about the financial loss in the future. I've got to get back to basics and create a vision that'll move me forward. And I've got to be willing to be connected to what's going on in the world, but not be a victim to what's going on in the world. And that gets back to personal responsibility. You know, if it's up to me to get up and make those changes, then I've got to create a roadmap and decide. There's a lot of people in our city that are thriving right now. And it's back to that key of making a choice and then creating an action plan.